coming up on the Q30 Newscast. See Quinnipiac's president featured on a professor's podcast.
Learn about a Quinnipiac grad who took part in Miss America and a new recording studio that opened in Hamden.
Also see a feature on the Quinnipiac Fall Fest event.
All that and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Q30 Newscast. I'm Evangeline Crossley.
And I'm Christina Tsimenis.
First tonight, Professor Nick Petroskevich filmed the newest edition of his What's Your Story series yesterday.
This episode featured Quinnipiac's new president, Dr. Marie Hardin. Q30's Sophia DeBona has more.
Hi, I'm Sophia DeBona, reporting from the CCE building, where Professor Nick Petroskevich is interviewing Quinnipiac President Dr. Marie Hardin for his YouTube show, What's Your Story? This past Tuesday, Marie Hardin joined Nick Petroskevich for the Season 2 premiere of his YouTube series, What's Your Story? The show features a variety of different guests that both Petroskevich and the audience of students interview.
Well, I think Nick is terrific. I've seen this show. I love the way he engages students, and my background is communication, so I knew this would be fun.
It was obvious when you have a new university president to see if she would be willing to come in and do it, and so I sort of put that bug in her ear a while ago and said, hey, by the way, once you start just to interact with students, why don't you come and do this? And she said immediately yes.
He had a lot of great questions, and honestly questions that I feel like I would never think to ask. I feel like really great, detailed, but also personal to her.
Dr. Hardin's appearance on Petroskevich's show was more than just an interview. It was a celebration of human connection and finding comfort in those that we look up to.
I feel like it's so great to listen to everything she has to say so early on into the year, especially because I'm a freshman, so it's my first year and everything.
It's not necessarily just the story, it's about the people involved in the story. Because whether it's the president of this university or a famous athlete, at the heart of it, they're still people.
After the interview, many students and faculty left feeling more connected to Dr. Hardin than ever before.
The audience wasn't too big, and it was one of those things that felt more of a personal, almost conversation with her.
I think it's that she's incredibly approachable, right? You can ask her whatever you want. You see her wandering around campus.
For Q30 News, I'm Sophia DeBona. Back to Christina and Ava at the desk.
Thanks, Sophia. The School of Business held a career fair for students this morning in Reckwell's Court 3. That's room 160. It gave students and business majors the opportunity to explore different careers and possible employers. They could learn about positions from internships to part-time, summer, and entry-level work.
On Tuesday, during the Common Hour in the Piazza, there was a university-wide majors and minors fair. Students interested in changing their majors, adding an additional one, or taking on a minor were encouraged to attend the event. There were representatives from each school available to help students explore their options. Graduate admissions was also there to answer questions from +1 students. Students can contact their advisor with any further questions about changing or adding majors and minors.
Some local grade school students are getting a hand from our own here at QU. JUMP, also known as the Juvenile Urban Multicultural Program, held a back-to-school drive this Monday. They put together backpacks with essential school supplies for underprivileged youth. The supplies were provided by the organization. They just needed a hand packing it up. JUMP's goal is to provide all students in secondary education with the tools to overcome socioeconomic issues.
Chuck Saya, the chairman of the QU Board of Trustees, led a discussion in the School of Business earlier today. The discussion was hosted by the Business Analytics Information Systems Society on the topic of AI in healthcare. Students can attend more events like this by checking Bobcat Central to RSVP.
And I see so much energy in that space is because they have so much technology and so much capital at their fingertips that they don't need to go and sit inside a big firm to go and disrupt.
One Quinnipiac grad competed in the Miss America pageant earlier this month. Miranda Patorti has the newest edition of our Quinniperson series.
Kayla Kumar was crowned Miss Connecticut 2025 on June 28th. The Quinnipiac University alumna was shocked when she earned the title that night.
I didn't expect it. I mean, coming out of competing, haven't competed in so long. I mean, this is the last thing I expected, but I think all I could think of was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally going to Miss America, and it was a dream come true.
Competing in pageants since she was 11, this wasn't the first time Kumar was able to walk the Miss America stage.
So my other most important title is Miss New York's Outstanding Teen, so that's also part of the Miss America organization, so I was a teen contestant.
A pivotal part of competing within the Miss America organization is the talent portion of competition. Kumar showcased her traditional Indian dance skills for the judges and was able to revive a passion she thought might be over for her.
On my 17th birthday, I had a 3x3 spinal fusion surgery, so I have 2 metal rods screwed into my spine. And I haven't danced since I competed at Miss America's Outstanding Teen. So when I knew I just was going to compete, I was like, gosh, I need a talent. And you bet darn well, I used the same talent I competed as a teen. I really took a moment for myself to step back and really reflect. It was before I went on for talent, and I actually almost started crying because I'm like, wow, I'm literally dancing on the Miss America stage.
Kumar graduated from Quinnipiac in May of 2025 with her master's in health science and biomedical sciences on the 1-year track. Serving as Miss Hamden before being crowned Miss Connecticut, Kumar made sure to represent the Bobcats well.
We had a school theme, school pride, state pride. Obviously, I had to represent Quinnipiac. I wouldn't represent anything else. Everybody's like, why didn't you do UConn? Why didn't you do Yale? Because I didn't go to UConn or Yale. I'm a proud Bobcat.
Despite her short tenure at Quinnipiac, the university prepared her well for her reign across the state.
In 1 short year, Quinnipiac really changed my life. I mean, my friends from Quinnipiac literally flew down to Orlando to come watch me compete at Miss America, and I'm like, I haven't even known these people for a whole 2 years, a year even. My professors, everything, I feel like they helped me become the best version of myself that I could have been to compete for Miss Connecticut and go to Miss America.
Kayla Kumar will continue her reign until a new Miss Connecticut is crowned next year. Reporting from the Eklund Center for Q30 News, Miranda Patorti.
Thank you, Miranda. It's Culture Week here at QU, and the Office of Inclusive Excellence, along with the Multicultural Student Leadership Council, celebrated with a kickoff this Monday. It was in the CCE courtyard from 2 to 4. There were fun fall-themed treats and games, and attendees could engage in meaningful conversations about culture. There's more Culture Week events every night this week.
Tuesday's Culture Week event was Game Night Around the World from 9 to 11 p.m. in the Piazza. It featured games and snacks from around the world. The event was open to all students for a fun and interactive evening of many different games. Look out for the rest of Culture Week festivities on the Quinnipiac events calendar.
Many programs are taking advantage of the new Common Hour. This week, Visual and Performing Arts, along with the theater program, held a pop-up theater. It was yesterday in the School of Business Auditorium. The theme was Parents Just Don't Get It, and the short plays showcased young adults exercising independence from their parents. They featured excerpts from 4 other plays, including Crumbs from the Table of Joy by Lynn Nottage and Birds of North America by Anna Monetch.
Now that it's officially fall, the weather has finally begun to cool down.
Yeah, Christina, I am so excited for sweater weather. Well, we have Anthony Rossi here to tell me if I can pull out my knits.
Yeah, thanks guys. I have the 3-day forecast in Hamden, so let's take a look at it today. It's going to be a little bit sunny, chance of showers later in the day. Definitely something to look out for throughout the week. Make sure you have your raincoats ready and your umbrellas ready as well, as it's going to be a downpour shower on Thursday and Friday. So be very careful around the inside of your homes as well. If you have a dehumidifier, definitely crank that because the humidity is going to be very much in. It's the transition from fall to winter, or excuse me, summer to fall, and then you have to be careful about the transition from fall to winter as the humidity levels just kind of vary. But I'll have the 7-day forecast later in the newscast along with a look around Connecticut. But first, the Q30 Newscast has to take our first commercial break of the night. Stay tuned.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me. don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back. Over the summer, a Grammy-winning music producer from New Haven opened a recording studio right here in Hamden.
With more on the story is Q30 News' Andrea Allison.
A new recording studio opened recently in Hamden with the goal of supporting music in the community and giving opportunities to up-and-coming artists.
So basically everything an artist would need to build their craft or build their product, you can do it in this venue, in this building.
Aaron Rogers and Rashad Snacks Johnson were born and raised in New Haven and have both become successful music producers after they started in 2009.
He came to my mom's house, and then we kind of been together every day since 2009.
Skyro Studios was founded by two Grammy Award-winning producers who have a passion for all types of music. One of their goals is to bring the experience from a big market city to the area. Johnson emphasized that in this area of Connecticut, some people just aren't given the opportunity.
Wanted to create opportunities for artists out here. In Connecticut, there's not many, industry standard places for artists to really convene and have resources.
Rogers and Johnson also founded the Breed Academy, a nonprofit workforce and training program which has brought multiple students to success, with one nominated for a Grammy.
So we basically take creatives and anybody that's aspiring to be in this industry, and we help them from ground zero all the way into the actual industry.
Teach them the right way, and not just about music, just integral, how to be a man, how to be a woman, how to carry yourself in this world.
Overall, Skyro Studios' goal is to support underground and up-and-coming artists, as well as bring people in the community together.
Our niche has always been bringing people together, whether it's music, whether it's curated events.
Reporting from Hamden for Q30 News, I'm Andrew Allison.
Thank you, Andrew. During yesterday's Common Hour, QU's creative writing series returned with an open mic poetry event. It was at 12:30 in the Student Center, room 120. Students could take the stage to share their own poetry. The event ended with a reading and Q&A from Shayna Phoenix, a Black queer poet and educator from Harlem, New York. She read excerpts from her work, To Be Named Something Else.
Rinsing our summertime heavies down into the sewers. Little black so-and-sos walk through water like we Moses or something. See her, all copper and running over like she God, a cup or something.
Last night, the Black Student Union held an event in Eklund 205. Teams faced off in a Family Feud-style game. The night was full of fun, friendly competition, and trivia. Students were encouraged to play in the game or just cheer on their friends. Free snacks were also provided to all who attended.
To round out that Culture Week we told you about earlier in the show, the Multicultural Student Leadership Council is having a culture fair. It's this Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Mount Carmel Quad. Cultural student organizations will be showcasing their communities through displays and food. The event hopes to welcome new students and introduce them to all the different cultural organizations on campus.
A lot has been going on in the world of politics this week. Amari Smith is in the studio with some updates.
Thanks, Christina. This week has been full of big political moves and events, so let's get right into it. Starting with President Trump signing an executive order calling Antifa a, quote, domestic terrorist organization. Antifa is short for anti-fascist and is used to refer to left-wing activists. This order is partly due to the assassination of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk, and with the goal to, quote, investigate any and all illegal operations, end quote. The White House claims that Antifa has a, quote, long history of terrorizing our communities, but questions arise about who the order is specifically targeting, as Antifa is not a singular organization, but a widespread collective of like-minded activists. Moving south, Charlie Kirk's memorial service was held in Glendale, Arizona this past Monday as well. The service featured multiple conservative public figures, religious leaders, and Kirk's widowed wife, Erica, as speakers at the event. President Trump headlined the service, in which he described Charlie Kirk as, quote, a great American hero and martyr, end quote. The service hosted at least 70,000 attendees, while online viewership eclipsed the millions. The service was hosted by Turning Point USA, Kirk's nonprofit organization, making it the organization's first event since his assassination. In the service, Erica Kirk was named the new CEO of Turning Point USA in her husband's place. Lastly, to Congress. Trump cancels his previously scheduled meeting with Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to discuss a possible government shutdown. The meeting was supposed to address a funding deal to dodge a shutdown of the federal government, but Trump scrapped the meeting previously set on Thursday. Trump posted on Truth Social saying, quote, "After reviewing the details of the unserious and ridiculous demands made by the minority radical left Democrats, I've decided that no meeting with their congressional leaders could possibly be productive," end quote. Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, responded to Trump's cancellation of the meeting, stating, quote, "The extremists want to shut down the government because they are unwilling to address the Republican health care crisis that is devastating America," end quote. And that's everything I have for politics this week. Back to Ava and Christina at the desk.
Thanks, Amari. Now we need to take a short break, but when we return, a study on vaccine rates around the country have some school nurses concerned.
Plus the latest headlines from around the country. Make sure to stick with us.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Thanks for sticking with us here on the Q30 Newscast. If you're just joining, I'm Evangeline Crossley.
And I'm Christina Tsimenis.
Well, it's looking like the next 3 days won't be the sweater weather that I was hoping for.
But good thing Anthony Rossi is back to tell us what the weather will look like into the next week.
Yeah, thanks guys. I'm here once again for now the 7-day forecast, and then we'll take a look around Connecticut for tomorrow's forecast. But we already previewed the first 3 days of this week. Now we'll look in the last 4. Going through the weekend, pretty cloudy. It is going to be a very high humidity level for Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday and Tuesday. The sun is going to be out. Temperatures are high. They'll get lower throughout the rest of the week. Monday and Tuesday, we see the high of 72. And then as we get later into the evening on those 2 days, 51 and 49, probably the coldest temperatures that we've seen so far since last fall, last winter. But now we'll take a look around Connecticut. Like I said earlier in the newscast, it is rainy all day around the entire Nutmeg State. Look a little bit inland to Torrington, Hartford, 66, 64, we are up there. And then down here along the coastline, high of 70 in New Haven, low of 66. So it is a very hot and humid day. Like I mentioned earlier, dehumidifiers are going to be key for people that are living in houses. And then down here in Stamford, where NBC Connecticut is, that will be a high of 69 and then a low of 66. That's all I have for the weather. Evangeline and Christine, I got a little question for you guys. What would be your favorite rainy day activity to spend tomorrow?
That's a good question, Anthony. I think my favorite rainy weather activity is laying in bed and watching some TV. What about you, Evangeline?
I'm with you on the bed part, but I personally love to play a good video game. I've been so into Stardew Valley recently, so
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, now moving on to this week's Wellness Wednesday, children are getting vaccinated less and less across the U.S.
That's according to a recent report by NBC News. A key finding shows that a large population of the U.S. does not have the basic immunity necessary to stop the spread of measles, which was previously eliminated. Since 2019, 77% of counties in the U.S. have reported declining childhood vaccination rates, and vaccination exemptions for school children are raising nationwide.
New legislation in states like Florida no longer require these vaccines in children to attend public school. But shockingly, Florida isn't the most impacted. Western states like Wyoming and Idaho have some of the lowest vaccine rates across the country. Meanwhile, a recent measles outbreak in Texas killed 3 people.
Staying on the topic of the United States, much more has been going on nationwide in the news.
From an earthquake in California to a tragedy out of Texas, Nathan Rojas has your national news update.
Hello and good evening. I'm Nathan Rojas with your national news for the week. While it may be fall, the summer heat still lingers. Unfortunately for some, especially young children, this can be dangerous. A 3-year-old girl and her 6-year-old brother were found dead in a hot car on Saturday, September 20th. The children's mother, Tiona Islar, called the authorities around 3:25 p.m. Upon arriving to the scene, they attempted CPR on the children, but with no luck, pronouncing them dead. Islar was arrested on charges of injury to a child. An hour before that, Oklahoma animal handler Ryan Easley was killed after his tiger unexpectedly attacked him. Towards the end of their performance, the tiger suddenly bit Easley in the shoulder and neck. Easley's wife and daughter were both in attendance, having witnessed the attack. Easley was the owner of Growler Pines Tiger Preserve, where the incident occurred. He had raised the tiger since it was a cub, leaving many to wonder what had prompted the attack. In lighter news, Berkeley, California residents had an early wake-up call when a 4.3 magnitude earthquake shook the city at 2:56 a.m. on Monday. According to scientists, the earthquake was considered light, with there being no damages. However, many residents felt otherwise. While the light shaking was jarring to many, older residents are used to the earthquakes, seeing them as rites of passage. That's all for National. Back to the desk for the rest of tonight's news.
Thanks, Nathan. Now, QU winter sports are just getting started. When we come back, we'll give you the latest on how some teams across campus fared this weekend.
And you won't bear to be without this week's Bobcat Babble. Don't go anywhere.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Guys! We have to make a commercial for #that right now. What do we do?
How long do we have? We only had 2 months to do this.
We could explain that it's a pop culture news show that covers everything from movies, music, and video games.
Yeah, and we can also talk about how there's pre-recorded segments that vary from reviews to in-depth discussions.
We should also mention that it broadcasts live every Monday at 7 p.m. on Q30TV.com/watch.
I think that covers everything. Did you guys get that down?
It's a busy time in Quinnipiac sports with the women's ice hockey team kicking off the winter season.
Anthony DeVille has that, plus an exciting update from the ECAC and more. Anthony?
Thanks, guys. There was a lot of action in athletics over the weekend, so let's get right into it. Starting off, the 4-2 Quinnipiac field hockey team faced off against the 4-1 number 6 ranked Liberty squad. The Bobcats would lose this game with a final score of 2-0, dropping to 4-3 on the season, but they would look to bounce back when the Merrimack Warriors marched into town looking to steal one from the Bobcats. The Bobcats would win that game 8-0, tying their program record at 8 goals in one game. Leading the way was sophomore midfielder Francisca Escoyes with a program high 9 points in that game. Their overall record now sits at 5-3 on the season, with their next game against Old Dominion on Friday. Moving over to the pitch, the women's soccer team would look to stay hot in MAC play, facing off against Mount St. Mary's. The Bobcats came out of the game firing as they scored 2 goals in 15 minutes. Quinnipiac followed out with 2 more goals in the 41st and 55th minute of the game. Mount St. Mary's would respond with a goal in the 63rd minute, but that would be the last we see of the Mount, as the Bobcats cap off a great performance, scoring in the 88th minute and winning the game 5-1. Senior forward Morgan Cupo was named the MAC Offensive Player of the Week on Monday. She had her most dominant game so far this season, scoring 2 goals with 4 points and is tied for the most goals on the team. And Ava Young was named MAC Rookie of the Week after scoring her first collegiate goal in Saturday's game. Heading up to M&T Bank Arena, the weather is cooling down and the Yukon Huskies mushed into town to take on the Bobcats in an exhibition battle. The Bobcats would pounce on Yukon early when junior Kaylin LaMarche scored 24 seconds into the game. The Bobcats followed that up with another goal with little over 3 minutes left in the first period. Yukon had some good chances, but it was mostly all Bobcats from there on, as Quinnipiac would go to win 3-0. The Bobcats start the regular season with a non-conference matchup on the road this Friday against the Maine Black Bears. The big question being who will get the nod in net, with Felicia Frank and Merrimack transfer goalie Callie Hogarth both having good appearances. Breaking news around the ECAC. It was announced today that the Women's Hockey Championships, including the semifinal and final, will be played at a neutral site in Lake Placid, New York. The semifinal will start on Friday, March 6th, and the final will take place Saturday, March 7th as well. That's all the time we have for sports this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Anthony. Indie band Almost Monday rocked the quad last week at Fall Fest.
Plus, plenty of fall-themed food and fun. Emily Katz has more on the event.
It's Emily Katz here at the 2025 Fall Fest, hosted by our Student Programming Board and WQAQ. From fall-themed activities, live music, to food trucks, there's something for everyone. So let's check it out.
Right behind me, you see students getting ready to jump into the Fall Fest fun, including pumpkin painting, airbrush t-shirts, and plenty of fun giveaways.
It's so much fun. The music is great. I got this cool shirt. It says Bobcats on it. I love it. I'm having the best time ever right now.
I've done pumpkin painting. I've done the character turns. I was able to get a little like embroidery type thing.
And before taking the stage, I had the chance to sit down with Almost Monday and hear a couple of their thoughts about the show.
When we're in college, like the first week, like event thing is fun. It's kind of like memorable, so hopefully we add to that. It'll be a big win. If you really, really love something, you kind of just like figure out how it works, I guess, or like how it can, you know, be the thing you do, I guess. And I feel like if you just truly love to do it, like, and it doesn't really feel like work, following the passion, following what you love to do. So just, yeah, keep following what that is.
The energy of this event leads to one of the biggest reasons why people attend Fall Fest, the live music. Of course, events like this don't happen overnight, but take a lot of planning behind the scenes.
This sort of event, when one, it's months of planning. It takes us a super long time in order to get everything out. As a team, as a whole, we really worked all together to be making sure that we're putting out the best product when it came to selecting the vendors, making sure everything that was going on was things that the people would like to see. We have a really special group here, so I just really hope that everyone can see how much dedication and work that we put into it, and really the biggest thing that they're taking away is how much fun that they had.
Fall Fest really had it all. I hope you all had a great look at the event. I know I had an amazing time. That's all for me. Back to you at the desk.
This week is Fat Bear Week, and millions of people in over 100 countries will vote to crown the fattest bear living in Katmai National Park in Alaska.
Fat Bear Week started in 2014 as a way to highlight the largest brown bears on the planet living in a place that is inaccessible to most people. These very big bears are getting themselves ready for hibernation. 12 are in the running for the title.
The annual vote began on September 23rd and will close on the 30th. People can vote online on explore.org between 12 and 9 p.m. Eastern Time each day.
Well, Christina, it feels like we had barely enough time for the Q30 Newscast, but we must say goodnight. Thank you to all the producers and everyone working hard behind the scenes.
Make sure to follow us on our new Instagram account at Q30_news and on X at Q30 News. Check out our website at Q30TV.com. For Evangeline Crossley, I'm Christina Semenis. Have a great night, Bobcats.